Very confusing because I am a freaking delight to be around. Delightful.
Man, I feel lied to. The hyper-independent bullshit. I fell for the boss.
Funny how women often only realize this as they approach their 30s.
Sometimes I feel like men have brain damage.
He was the good guy. So I'm here to tell you it's okay to leave the good guy.
And it's also okay to have to live with the harsh consequences of your actions.
So something my therapist recently said to me was, this is in regards to dating, was, Shelby, this is your world. This is not the boys' world, this is your world. And it's okay for you to be able to make decisions based on what you want. So what is your ideal dating situation? How often are you seeing them, going on dates, talking to them? How do you see the progression of the relationship in your ideal situation? And then you have to assess whoever is in front of you, whoever is trying to occupy your attention, whoever is trying to pursue you, or who is trying to get to know you. You have to decide if they're showing up to the standards that you have set. And then you're allowed to say, I'm sorry, but I don't think this is the right fit for me because X, Y, and Z. You don't need to stay in a situation and let things slide or compromise on things, because then you're not ever going to be in your ideal relationship. So don't compromise, hold on to your guns, and just because there's some pretty sparkly shiny boots that look really cool and it'd be cool to have, and they're nice boots, doesn't mean that it's the boots you've always dreamed of. So take that as you will.
You can bet money that her therapist is a woman. It's fascinating how the same therapist, typically shaped by feminism and wokeism, advise women to further amplify their egocentrism without realizing that it is this uncompromising nature and main character mindset of such women that leads them into their unhappiness. As an adult woman, it's important to understand that relationships are built on compromises and that the needs of both people matter. With her mindset and disastrous therapist, she might as well start saving her money for cat food.
It's a Saturday afternoon. Where are all the good men at? I don't find them. So, future husband, where are you? Hurry up and come and get me.
It's great that there's some effort here, but by Saturday afternoon, these men are home, either working in the garage or in the backyard. And the only men that are left at Home Depot are either married and shopping with their wife, or married and trying to get a project done that he would have had done at 10 a.m. if it wasn't for wanting to have a relaxed morning with his family. Or, I'll admit, there's an occasional single guy, but guaranteed he is on his second or third trip of the day. And that man's focus on completing his project is on level 100. All that man wants is to get in and out as fast as possible. He's not even noticing.
Hi darlings, let's talk about being nearly 30, but definitely being single. If you are new to my page, my TikTok, my name's Zoe, I'm 29 and I'm turning 30 in July. And I am single. I have been single now for 3 years. There was a little something in between, but honestly at this point doesn't even count. I have kind of done my life a little bit backwards. Around 25 years old, I'd been in a really long-term relationship. I'd bought a house with this guy, totally envisaged being together for the rest of our lives. Literally, when we bought our house, there was a nursery at the end of the road and we talked about sending our theoretical future children there. So this was very serious. But I had like a little bit of a midlife crisis. I think I felt like I was settling down way too early and way too young, and I just hadn't lived my life yet. We broke up. So I did have another relationship after that was very toxic and emotionally abusive. That's another story for another day. We now are where we are now, which is pretty much 3 years single and approaching 30 this summer.
Of course, as a woman, she has the freedom to leave any man she chooses. However, her relationship with the man who cared for her kindly was only 3 years ago. With each passing year and each new man who treats her poorly, the wound she experienced from separating from that man will cut deeper and deeper. Eventually, she will realize what she threw away. But by then, it will be too late, and the debts will be paid.
50 years old, single, I'm dating, found nothing but lying assholes. Very confusing because I am a freaking delight to be around. Delightful. About to become an asshole.
So here is my question. Where are the real men? I mean, I come from an age or an era, whatever, an upbringing in the 80s, at least in my household, that was traditional. You know, I love doing laundry. I like making dinner. I like making a special home and having traditions and putting up the Christmas tree and all of these nice things. I also like to respect my man and look up to him and honor him. I want him to be smarter than me.
I left the good guy. He looks at and is like, that's a dad. That's a husband. That's how it's supposed to be. He did the dishes. He cleaned the house. He took the kids to school. He worked all day. He made good money. He supported us. I mean, yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay to leave the good guy.
The truly catastrophic aspect of such situations is not the fact that a good man was left. It's much more about everyone else involved, namely the children, who were abandoned when their mother left their father. It seems irrelevant that a man did everything he could to be a good father, not just for his wife, but for the entire family. Yet even this woman cannot help but focus solely on her personal needs, no matter whose lives are put at risk in the process.
Kind of funny when you think about it that women get so outraged about men wanting women to text first and plan dates and show any level of reciprocation. It's almost like these women forget that men need emotional support and that men are actually human beings that need emotional love and affection in return. And some of these women will actually withhold love and affection until these men make it official. And when you really think about it, if women are withholding love and affection or any kind of reciprocal energy to make men act a certain way or do certain things or to make it official, is that not manipulative because you're basically changing your behavior to get a certain outcome? Makes sense. But at the same time, women want princess treatment without ever getting a ring. So let me get this straight. You're not going to show up in a relationship until it's official, but you expect him to show up in a relationship before it's ever official.
Yeah, casual is definitely not for me. Since becoming single a couple of years ago, I had a few casual hookups, and every single time it was the same kind of like, I'm going to pretend to care about you temporarily until I don't anymore. And then I got my feelings hurt like every time, so...
Let me translate. Her feelings were hurt every time because she kept engaging in physical relationships with men who, from the start, only intended to get physical with her. These men, who were never interested in a serious relationship, left her after she mistakenly believed they were interested in something more meaningful. She had to engage in the same physical relationships over and over and over again to finally realize that hookups are not for her. The end.
Man, I feel lied to by the culture. But I'm going to take full responsibility there, man. I fell for it. I fell for the boss bitch, the, like, I could do everything by myself, that hyper independent bullshit. I'm 31 now, and I still don't have kids. I still don't have a family. I was focused on trying to get after the bag and all this. Yo, what? I'm in a place now in my life where I'm reevaluating everything. My values, my perspectives, what I really want in the future. And what I really want is a family. Social media or just everything around us, society in general, wants to push that the woman is the future. No, the family is the future.
I had a man crying, screaming, and throwing up last night because he found out I was going on dates with other people. And then I said, well, it doesn't feel like you're pursuing me. And then he said, but I'd love to pursue you more. I just don't want to come off as clingy. And then I suggested he stand in his authenticity and show up as himself and declare how he feels about me. If he wants to know me better. I'm open to it. And he said, okay, let's talk tomorrow. Tomorrow is today. I haven't heard from him, and honestly, I'm so detached from dating now, so I'm just like going about my biz. I get a 2-minute voice note from him letting me know that actually, He's not ready for a relationship, and he has to date casually right now. I don't give a shit, but do you see like how sometimes I feel like men have brain damage?
Sometimes it's incredible to watch women like this, convinced they're exceptionally smart, especially when they believe they're much smarter than the men they date. The pinnacle, however, is when she claims that in her opinion, men must have brain damage because male behavior doesn't make sense to her. Ironically, she fails to realize that the man she was dealing with was baffled because she openly admitted to dating multiple men at the same time. He obviously slept on it and gave her a half-hearted response saying he wasn't interested in a relationship at the moment. With that, he clearly intended to limit any future interaction to something purely physical because he knows she's not the kind of woman a man can take seriously, especially not one who dates several men simultaneously.